The Scions of Hourglass are one of the most mysterious yet interesting organizations that exist within the Valorant universe. We know that the Scions of Hourglass are there to keep the existence of Radianites and Radiants a secret from the public, constantly destroying them and planning missions to sabotage scientific research on Radianites. They even capture and kill Radiants that they come across to try to purge the existence of anything Radianite related. We've come to learn that many agents in the Valorant protocol have had past interactions with this organization, and even new agents that are coming out in recent times have been directly linked to them, such as ISO, Clove, and Vice. Entire maps are being dedicated to their stories, such as Abyss, and patch after patch we're getting emails and voicemails associated with them. Yet strangely, the Scions of Hourglass have been rather silent. After the alleged death of one of their leaders in a previous cinematic, and the takeover of one of their strongholds on Abyss, it almost seems as if they disappeared. Where are the Scions? Who are they? Why do they exist? And what exactly is their story? This is the unsolved mystery of the Scions of Hourglass. The first time we get clues or hints about the existence of this organization dates back to patch 706. This patch actually wasn't that long ago. This was around the time when Deadlock was released, and we were slowly getting teasers on ISO as the newest agent. At that time, Sova took a scan of Kingdom's West facility, and Killjoy was tasked with analyzing the scans to look for traces of Omega particles. Kingdom West facility is where Project Landfall was taking place by Kingdom Corporation, where they were using and experimenting on radivores. This is where Gecko had broken into and stolen the radivores that he currently possesses. And the facility itself is located on the map Sunset on the Defender side of Spawn. And for those confused about what Omega particles mean, the Valorant universe is currently split into two universes with two different Earths, Alpha Earth and Omega Earth. Each agent on Alpha Earth, which is the main Earth, has a mirror copy on Omega Earth, and they occasionally attack Alpha Earth to steal their Radianite. If you want to learn more about the lore on this, check out this video here where I do a full explanation. Link is down below as well. So after KJ went through Sova's scan of the facility to find traces of Omega particles, she didn't find any, and they ruled out that there were no Omega agents present at the facility at that time. However, KJ did find something else within the facility's security circuits which kind of looked like a jammer device. After Raze took a look at the image, she said it looks like an hourglass. This here is where we get the first hint of the existence of the Scions. There wasn't any other information given besides just finding the jammer which had their symbol on it. In the patches that followed, the story continued with Omen recognizing the symbol. However, because of how badly Omen's memory had been lost, he was unable to remember exactly where he had seen that symbol before and what it meant. Now it was time for Cypher to do some digging. After digging into the dark web, Cypher was able to find someone by the name of ISO, who was a hitman. ISO was willing to provide information on the hourglass, but he wanted protection from his former employer. Cypher was hesitant, however, because he pointed out that ISO's trail on the dark web was too clean. It's almost as if ISO wanted someone to find him. Cypher asked Brimstone what he thinks, and they decided that they should go ahead with ISO's offer. At the time, ISO was the first agent to join the Valorant protocol, with direct ties and knowledge to the Scions of Hourglass. He was previously a hitman for the organization, tasked with solo missions to take out various targets, such as the scientists from Project Landfall. With ISO being a Radiant, the Hourglass didn't need to send him with any backup, even though his missions required multiple people. Once ISO completed his mission on Sunset, he was given his next target by the Hourglass, eliminating Omen. After ISO was identified and accepted into the protocol in exchange for protection against the Hourglass, the protocol still had suspicions about him. And rightfully so, because ISO had plans to carry out his mission and kill Omen. Just as ISO had pretty much the perfect chance to take out Omen for good, he hesitated and changed his mind at the last second. All the while, Cypher was aware of his intentions and wanted to see if ISO was going to carry it out or not on his own will. It looks like Cypher never even told anyone else on the team about this either. While ISO had planned to double cross, he ended up triple crossing and went against the Hourglass instead, as he became loyal to the protocol. With ISO's help, the protocol were able to locate one of the Hourglass's bases in Jakarta, which they later attacked, cementing ISO's loyalty to the protocol and betrayal to the Hourglass. It's never been revealed why ISO was loyal to the Scions of Hourglass to begin with, or how and why he even joined them. ISO never revealed this information, and it's probably because it's not that important if it doesn't help the protocol with taking them down. In the Reckoning cinematic, we get to see the protocol attack the Hourglass base in Jakarta, with Omen taking charge and going in. It was when he was briefly trapped by a powerful machine that Omen started regaining his memories about his past.
Nice to see you again.
Tell me about Shrouded Step.
Straight to the point. Always was your style. Sorry. We cannot have you vanishing again. Ghost.
Something's not right. I'm getting interference.
Heading to a new position. Shrouded Step was a simple directive. Kill. You were our most talented asset. Who better to safeguard our secrets? To keep the discovery of Radionite from a world that wasn't ready. Imagine our surprise when we realized who you were. And that you became one of them. Tell me, Omen, what hurts more? Being ripped apart by this machine, or knowing your greatest failure? Now hold your leash. Cypher, shut it down!
Give me a moment.
Time to undo that mistake.
We're out of time.
Nowhere to run.
No! Fool.
He learned that, like ISO, Omen had worked for the Scions of Hourglass when he was a human, under the codename Ghost. One of the missions given to him was to take out a scientist conducting experiments on Radionite, Dr. Sabine Callis, or Viper. And the name of the mission was Shrouded Step, which is the name of his teleport ability. After failing to kill Viper on his mission, Omen found himself hit in the face by poison and locked inside a chamber by Viper. These events ultimately led to the loss of his memories and his physical form changing from a human to a phantom. Omen was then able to break free from the device and kill this man who was controlling it, and revealing the truth about Omen's past. But who was this guy and how did he know so much about Omen's past? Alright, so it has been confirmed that this infamous guy is one of the leaders of the Hourglass. However, he is not the main leader, or the main boss if you want to call him that. The reason I say this is because after the Reckoning cinematic where it looks like Omen killed him off, we still have the Scions doing their jobs normally and acting as if nothing happened. They had intel that the Protocol were going to attack their base on Abyss, and were ready to defend it and even had knowledge that Omen would be coming there himself. While it's not really a solid reason behind why I think he's not the main leader, I just think if he was, it would have been a much bigger deal than how it played out. Also, their base in Jakarta wasn't really that heavily defended as it would have been if it was the main leader there. But we do know for a fact that he does have a leadership role within the Hourglass. This guy was in fact ISO's previous boss. He was the one who had ordered the hits on the scientists at Project Landfall, and ultimately the hit on Omen. And before ISO, it isn't really 100% confirmed, but we can guess that this guy was probably Omen's boss as well. This is because he knows so much about Omen's past. He knows his prior codename, he knows that Omen was their biggest asset, he knows details about Omen's previous mission, and so on. When he had Omen trapped in the machine, he basically gave Omen a big chunk of his memory back by telling him how he used to work for them, triggering Omen to have flashbacks. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the way he seemingly dies here in this clip doesn't have me convinced that he's gone. I think he somehow might have survived this fall and was taken away by the Scions. I'm assuming he's in one of their bases somewhere healing up and probably planning some sort of retaliation against the protocol. One thing that was overlooked by Omen and the protocol in this moment was that I feel like they could have easily captured this guy and took him back to their headquarters for interrogation. They could have learned a lot about the Scions of Hourglass, and for Omen, he could have gotten him to reveal more information about his past. But unfortunately that didn't happen and he's either dead or he escaped somewhere. After the events of the Reckoning cinematic took place, soon we were introduced to Clove and the new map Abyss. This map takes place in a secret hourglass base that was discovered by the protocol. On this map we have several rooms where experiments are being conducted on primarily plants. We soon find out that these experiments were tied into a prisoner that they had captured by the name of Vice, Valorant's newest agent who also has plant-like abilities. The security of this base was also very impressive as mentioned by Deadlock, where she talks about how many layers of security they have in place, probably because the Scions use the Apex Streamer Plus PC from Apex Gaming PCs. The Apex Streamer Plus PC comes with a Ryzen 5 7600X CPU, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, 1TB of storage, and an RTX 4060 Ti graphics card to basically allow you to run whatever game that you want. There are multiple colors for you to choose from and they have plenty of options if you feel as though this PC isn't for you. You can check out their Apex Streamer PC or Apex Bronze PCs if you prefer something more entry level, if what you do isn't that demanding. They currently have a 25% discount across the website with code BF24, and if the website doesn't have any ongoing promotions, you can always use my personal code Nibble on checkout for a 10% discount on your order. They also offer financing so you don't have to pay the entire price of the PC upfront, and instead you can pay in installments, so make sure to check them out. Alright, so aside from all the experiments on plants and the new agent trapped on Abyss, this map is covered in historical artifacts and a secret language used by the Scions. On one of the walls on Abyss, we can see images of humans wielding Radianite-powered weapons from hundreds of years ago, and the protocol learned that the Scions have captured and killed hundreds of Radiants, clearly indicating that these guys have been around for a long time. And apparently so have Radiants and Radianite, but that's a different story. This explains why the map Abyss is called the Elder Grotto by the Scions. It's basically some sort of ancient stronghold that the early Scions used for their work and stored important information. In Jakarta, after the protocol had attacked their base, the Scions had quickly cleared out all their information and presents before leaving. Unfortunately for the protocol, although the Scions didn't have a chance to clean out Abyss, they did have system failsafes implemented with their computers and did damage to other servers. This prevented the protocol from gaining any personal information on the Scions and learning more about them. But they did still have many of their artifacts, files, and records around the map to possibly use. This is a really interesting theory about the Scions of Hourglass, and it's the idea that they are a cult. So rather than them having a normal leadership hierarchy, it's very possible that at the top of the chain of command is some sort of mystical being, idea, or belief. The reason I say this is because of the ancient text found around Abyss. Keep in mind once again that this place is called the Elder Grotto. So a lot of what exists on this map is from ancient times, and there must be some sort of knowledge that's passed on. One of the texts on the wall reads, "The hourglass turns." This is a reference to the hourglass that can be found on the top of the map, which seems to be moving on its own. Inside, you can see it contains some sort of strange fluid as well, which we don't currently know what it is. Another code that we can decipher reads the following: Scions, there shall be tending to the turn of the hourglass to safeguard truths forbidden, pruning vine, burning word, and confine all to the abyss, for the hourglass turns. If this doesn't sound like a chant straight from a cult, then I don't know what to tell you. It really sounds like these Scions worship the hourglass for whatever strange reason that they have. And it's not just the hourglass by itself, but they seem to be particularly concerned with the turning of the hourglass. The idea that the hourglass needs to keep turning. As it reads, the Scions need to tend to the turning of the hourglass to safeguard truths forbidden. There are many ways to interpret this code, and I would love to hear what you guys think down below in the comment section. As it currently stands, the new agent that was revealed from the prison on Abyss, Vice, basically went on a rampage and took down several other Hourglass bases. It seems like the Hourglass are pretty much laying low for a while, as we haven't really heard much from them at all. But I do think that they have something big cooking up, and we'll see them again very soon. We know that these guys are obsessed with keeping Radiantite a secret because according to them, the world isn't ready yet. And maybe they're right, but the way that they're trying to fulfill their mission is by capturing and killing Radiants, which then makes them an enemy of the protocol. I find it interesting that while the Scions attack scientists and projects involving the experimentation with Radiantite, on Abyss they seem to have no problem experimenting on it themselves rather than destroying it. It could very well be that the Scions want to get rid of Radiantite because they want to control it all themselves, and be the only ones with that power. We know how powerful Radiantite can be, and if the Scions contain it all to themselves, then they could do quite a lot of damage with it, which may very well be their secret intentions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. This video is kind of part of a new series that I'm trying to work on, and if you guys enjoyed it, then I'll keep making more of these on other topics. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.